I have to say, even though I had plenty of time to make peace with the possibility of, we're not going to be at Cuba Lake in the beginning of, like Memorial Day weekend like we normally are, I actually was still kind of on the apprehensive side in terms of, what am I supposed to do? But, you know what? Shout out to the city of Elmira, because you definitely know how to make things not boring around here. So good morning and happy Sunday, everyone. Okay, so here's the thing. There was actually two things I really wanted to do yesterday, which I was able to do, but my low was like early yesterday morning. It started to rain. I'm like, oh no. Both things are going to be canceled because both things I wanted to go to were outdoors. But no, thankfully that wasn't the case. Well, it did rain, but it lasted for maybe an hour and a half, I guess. And I mean, it was still cloudy, but it was still like 80 degrees outside. Honestly, yesterday was perfect. Definitely hot, but much cooler than it was on Friday evening. Like, I feel like yesterday was that sweet spot. 80 degrees and cloudy, so the sun isn't like beating down on you. Like, that's just right. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. Like, the sun would peek out every now and again yesterday. I shouldn't say like the sun wasn't like beating down per se, but it was a beautiful evening. And my high, I was able to go to both events, which I'll get into momentarily. And my act of kindness was, I helped my dad out yesterday and, spent the day with him and helped my dad watch my nephews for a little while because my mom was working. And, unfortunately, my nephews, they love their Uncle Nick and they love their grandpa, but they love their grandma a lot more. So there you go. Because that's just how it is, everyone loves their grandma. Everyone, love you, Nana. Love you, Grandma. And both of my grandmothers have passed away, so. Anyway, so ever since I went to smoke on the water last year up at Cuba Lake, I mean, I always had wanted to go to a barbecue competition, which I did. Oh, hold on. Don't want to forget. I posted the check marks on my bucket list because I added yesterday's events to my bucket list right before I started recording. Just want to double save for a moment. Perfect. Now where was I? Right. Ever since I went to smoke because I always wanted to go to a barbecue competition, and for those of you guys who remember, Smoke on the Water up in Cuba Lake, specifically in Hammondsport, was the first barbecue competition I ever went to. And it was wonderful. I mean, there's a few things I would have done differently, like most importantly, get there early. But for the most part, great day it was. And when I heard that there was going to be a barbecue competition right here in Elmira, in Eldridge Park no less, I had to check it out. I did. And it's funny. I'm trying to remember the last time I ever actually went to Eldridge Park, because it's definitely been a few years since I went. I mean, there was that one event that took place in 2019 where they tried to create the largest shamrock made out of people in Eldridge Park, which they did break the record, but they technically didn't break. It was that's a story for another day. And they were going to redo it again, but a little thing called COVID-19 happened, so couldn't do that. I actually did go to Eldridge Park a few years ago because I actually always wanted to ride the carousel, which I did, and It was a lot of fun. But other than that, though, it's not very often I go to Eldridge Park. And honestly, I should go more often because it's a beautiful place, has a lot of, history, and, it's definitely a staple in not just Elmira, but of all the 607. And honestly, given the setting and the day, why not have a barbecue competition? Now, this barbecue competition was a bit different from Smoke on the Water, because with Smoke on the Water, you could pay like $20 for like a wristband, and you had like unlimited like samples of different types of barbecue, chicken, pork, brisket, stuff like that. Yesterday, the way it worked is, you had to purchase some tasting tickets. You could get 25 for $30, or you could get 50 for $50. I just went with the 25. I mean, it was enough. 25 samples, it was enough for me. So, walked around, sampled the different things of barbecue. I had some good pulled pork. There's a few places that had good wings. Some places had really good pork ribs. Oh, those are good. Unfortunately, I can't remember the name. Unfortunately, a lot of the competitors didn't really show off their names per se, but there was definitely like some pulled pork that was like really juicy, wings that were crispy but also really moist and flavorful as well, ribs that were just falling right off the bone in the best possible way. And I mean, listen, maybe I am a little biased because I kind of have my own hierarchy, but the brisket, man, I had some good brisket yesterday. Holy cow, I had some good brisket yesterday. And if you watch a lot of stuff like Guga Foods, shout out to Guga, then you know exactly what pieces you want to look for with any barbecue, whether it's brisket or ribs or pulled pork or whatever. Honestly, you would think 25, 25 samples, that was the right amount, like just perfect. Granted, technically, it is a slightly better deal if you get 50 tickets for $50, but I didn't want to spend the money. $30 for 25 samples, that's good enough. And it was enough in terms of how much food it was, and it was enough to satisfy me. I had some really great barbecue. In fact, there was actually some competitors who were at Eldridge Park yesterday that were at Smoke on the Water last year. So that was really cool. It was, honestly, if anything, this was a nice little preview of what Smoke on the Water 2026 will be. I definitely plan on going back to Smoke on the Water. Hopefully I'll be able to go. And I mean, they didn't. And one really cool thing about it was called the Roundabout Barbecue Competition. That was at Eldridge Park yesterday. That's what it was called. Unlike Smoke on the Water, where they dedicated 1 hour for chicken and 1 hour for pork and 1 hour for a mystery ingredient and then another hour for the brisket, they got out their food when they wanted to get it out. They got their wings out. People got their wings out right away. People got out their pork right away, whether it was pulled pork or ribs. People got out their brisket as soon as it was done. It wasn't on a set time schedule. It was out when it was out. And a part of me did wonder if they were going to do a mystery ingredient type thing like Smoke on the Water did, which, I mean, here's the thing. I think I shared this last year too, but for Smoke on the Water, they dedicated an hour to a mystery barbecue item, which you had to utilize specific ingredients. And last year, for Smoke on the Water, they had to utilize cauliflower, Okay, I like cauliflower. Cauliflower's good. Pineapple. I like pineapple too. And Spam. And I'm like, you know what? Church is in Bath at 4. I think I'll just get ready to go to church, which I did. But no, the barbecue the roundabout barbecue competition in Eldridge Park. That's actually something I'm really glad I went to. And you know what? It's a nice little preview for what Smoke on the Water will be later in the summer. And then later that evening, I went to Illegal Tap House to see Friends with Benny's. And the group of people I was with, someone thought, because the lead singer of Friends with Benny's is really good. Actually, a really good band. But the singer hit a note that was actually so high that someone I was with actually thought, wait, when did Friends with Benny's get a female singer? Like, that's how good Friends with Benny's is, man. Like, they're really good. And on top of that, it was such a beautiful evening. Like, seriously, I had almost forgotten that it had rained earlier yesterday morning. That's how nice yesterday wound up being. You know, like, by, 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, the clouds had all but parted. It was a clear blue sky. Since the sun was setting, it was warm, but it wasn't hot out either. Out on the patio, thank goodness for, to see Friends with Benny's at the Illegal Tap House. I mean, it was awesome. I mean, yeah. I really don't know what else to say other than, it was a great day. Trying to hold back a yawn there. Is there anything that I would have done, differently? Well, actually, the only thing I would have unfortunately, yesterday was one of those things where there was like a bunch of different things going on and they're all happening at the same time. In some places, like really, really, really far away. But one of those events was something called Duels on the Diamond. For those of you who don't know, I actually used to wrestle. And recently, they've been doing this event called Duels on the Diamond where they take wrestlers from New York and put them up against wrestlers from Pennsylvania. And there's one wrestler from my area that I've been following who actually wrestled yesterday and they won. So shout out to that wrestler. I could say their name, but I never name names so as not to embarrass or offend anyone. But they won. It was awesome. Congratulations. And I will admit, sometimes I actually do kind of miss wrestling. I do. I wish they had like some sort of adult related league. I would totally do it. But honestly, I'm actually kind of glad that I don't have like the stress related obsession or the obsession related stress or whatever you want to call it that wrestling did give me. But my wrestling career never really was that great, but that's only if you focus on wins and losses. What wrestling did for me was greater than any win-loss record. It gave me a direction. It gave me, it was actually something to take away, some of the annoyances that life gave me during that time in my life. And I will always be grateful for it. So, and you know what? I actually did meet some very extraordinary people doing wrestling too. I should definitely say that. I met some very extraordinary people. people that I'm all the happier that I met, and therefore my life is richer because of it. So there you go. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, now I'm actually caught at a crossroads because last night when I was at the concert for Friends with Benny's, a friend of mine offered me to do this one thing going on up at Seneca Lake, which looks like a lot of fun, but there's something else going on at the same time. If you remember, last year, Abandoned Brewing Company had their adult prom, and they're having it again next weekend. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I mean, yeah, I really don't know what to do. Holy cow. You know what? I have an entire rest of the week to figure it out. Honestly, right now, I'm just going to enjoy how great yesterday was, and I'm going to enjoy my day today, including going to church and spending time with my dad. That's my plan for the day, and I'm sticking to it. And also, I do have some laundry to do, and I should probably take care of that. Hope you liked this video. If you did, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very humble in this video for all of you guys watching Joe for them. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Sunday. And remember, if you guys want to talk, change, we're here to lend you always back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.